What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. We are back in, I would say, the not warm and not sunny North Carolina. It's a rainy, cold day here, so we're gonna be working in the shop. And what I got behind me is a much needed box that I needed to get the Cowmaro back on the road. Now, I'll give you a little update. We're still on some goofy looking 26-inch tall tire on a 15-inch Weld RTS because I'm still waiting on my V-Series rear to get here, but it's supposed to be on its way from Carlisle or from Weld, something like that. So hopefully this week we could see it so we can go racing this weekend. But you guys do know we had a little transmission issue. I sold the 400, went to a Powerglide, and I got the Powerglide off Turbo Bullet, and it was supposed to be 100%, and it wasn't 100%. So here we are with the Powerglide that I bought. It's an aftermarket reed case, which is really good. It's a lot safer than a stock case. Most parts are good. Some of the wear items are extremely wore out, and some items are still good. So what we're going to do is we're going to hang out here with Ben as he rebuilds it. How excited are you to rebuild a Powerglide right now?
I'm excited for it to all be in one piece.
Yeah, we're not laying here. Don't worry, it gets better because we still have another one sitting right over there.
Oh man, it's dirty in here.
So we have some cleaning to do. So what I'll do with you guys is I'll walk you guys through some parts that we got. Now, I'm no transmission expert. I'd say Ben is the transmission expert here because he built my 400 after it needed a rebuild. He built the 400 that was in the Rooster, which is now in his car. He rebuilt the Powerglide that is in the Rooster, and he will be building the transmission that is going in the Salty Chicken. So he is, Ben, would you say you're our transmission guy?
Guy?
Yeah.
No.
No? You're our transmission builder?
No.
You're just our transmission assembler.
I would say capable, but
you don't want to be you don't want to be over here building 12 transmissions a day, do you?
right.
Yeah. So we won't get that word out there.
We'll say difference between able and favorite thing to do.
So in here we got a bunch of parts. Ben, come over here and explain what parts we got because I'm no transmission expert. So I can tell you the simple stuff. We got some gaskets and a filter for a Powerglide. We got some, so here we got some input shaft seals. We got stator rings. We got case to output bearing. What else we got? Sun gear thrust bearing. That was what was tore up in the transmission. There was metal all through it. Pump to drum bearing. We got a high pressure regulator spring. This one looks important. Billet aluminum roller governor support. This one, that one does look important there. And we got a 180 planetary long 3440 shaft complete. So this is what was the main issue. That was all wore out. And in here we got some more gaskets and seals and stuff like that. So a lot of wear items. We'll open this up. We got the other one sitting right over there. We're going to send that off to get freshened up. They do wear out, but there was just a lot of awful play in that gear set. So here's the old gear set, which is what we're replacing. This had a ton of play. It has a lot of play where the gear will wobble side to side, which is no bueno. Yeah, it's tough to really tell on camera, but you really know how bad it is when you put it in the car and you hear the awful noise that it makes, because a straight cut gear like in a Powerglide is going to make some noise, so I'm used to that. The Boosted Rooster has straight cut gears, but the noise that this thing was making was not a good noise.
Look at this.
Yeah, look how much slop is in this. None of the gears move. But that wasn't even the issue. The issue was the play back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Alright, so we got a ton of nice parts, which means we're ready to put together. Alright, so you guys have been watching time-lapse of Ben getting everything ready. Everything has been all cleaned out and thoroughly gone through. What have you placed in the bottom down there?
Here's the reverse clutch pack.
Reverse clutch pack. So there's 3 clutch packs in here. There's a low gear, high gear, and reverse.
Low gear is the band.
Low gear is the band. Okay. That makes sense. So you're stacking these, steel's clutch, steel clutch.
They've already been in a transmission, so normally you'd soak them in transmission fluid, but
these have been in it once before.
Yeah.
All right, so you put the final, what is that? Whatever.
Pressure plate.
The pressure plate. So that's gonna end the clutch pack. Pressure plate goes in there. And then a snap ring right above it. Alright, so step 1 is put in the reverse clutch pack, which is what's going in there right now. It's actually in there. Ben is checking the clearance because there are certain clearances that everything has to be. You can't just slap it in there and ride, huh?
Yeah.
And what is this one showing?
More than
you're looking for?
No, more than 63.
Alright, so there underneath Ben's hands, 85,000. And that's it. Does that pass your test? You're cool with that? Let it ride? Alright, so step 1, high gear clutch packs are in there with the pressure plate and the C-clip, so everything is locked in there. Now I'm going to try not to keep time-lapsing this stuff because it's eating up my battery, and I do want to be able to finish this whole video so you guys see everything go together. You might not be able to build a transmission from this, but this is just an idea of what goes into building a Powerglide. This is torn down, cleaned, everything from nothing, and we're going back up to probably be in the car either later today or tomorrow. So this is the start to finish process of building a glide, but not super in depth. I'd say this is more of a casual video. So if you're here to learn how to build a Powerglide, I'm sorry. You'd probably call Ben, hit him up on Instagram, and he'll tell you how to build it step by step, but you might not figure out on this video. Was that fair to say? You want everyone to contact you on your Instagram to ask you how to build a Powerglide? And you'll message them step by step?
Yeah, exactly. Just tell me where you're at.
Alright, since we last left in the transmission, not much has changed, but Ben has assembled the pump, which is, I assume, pretty straightforward.
You gotta... since they move around, you have to put them like in the case, both halves, so it'll center it.
And then start putting it together, then tighten it up.
Yeah, tighten it. So, it's not the easiest thing. Oh, I put that together.
And all this is just steels and clutches all the way up, and then snap ring up top. So that's pretty simple. You guys have already seen the steels and clutch process. This is this thrust bearing. This is actually what was broken in the transmission originally, so we got a new one, but it was not a happy camper at all. It was pieces of it were missing, and it was throughout the entire transmission. So we'll just, is that how it goes right up there?
Yeah, it goes just like that, but it goes in the middle of the planetaries, so.
All right, so you stuffed the other clutch packs in there, and then you put the tail shaft on. Tail shaft's pretty easy. What, just a bunch of Allen bolts that go in the back here. What is there, 6? 5? That's close. 5 or 6. Actually, it's 5, and everything's going together. So what all do you have left? Just the pump and the valve body, and you already have the band in there?
Not yet.
Band goes in next. This is the exciting part, I think, because the band requires adjustment. Which is what we did originally when we got it. What's that?
This is the one out of the other car. See how it's like smooth?
Yeah, it doesn't say heavy duty there. This is out of the Boosted Roosters Powerglide.
Yeah.
And this is the one that is in, that came with this. Oh, you could really see there's like a groove in this one. Wow. So what does the band do?
And if you hold...
That's going to be tough to hold.
If you hold that still, watch down here. Hold on, let me hold it still.
So that low gear, when you hold it still, and what happens when you let go of it? High gear. So the band is what controls low and high gear, and pretty much all you're doing is you're holding that drum down. And then if you hold down something else, that gives you reverse.
This?
Yeah.
This is high gear.
High gear clutch pack. So you hold one,
spin one,
and
the other's your output.
And the other's your output. So the three, so you hold one, spin one, other's output, so you got reverse, high gear, and low gear. So that's pretty much how it works.
You hold the thing that reverse holds. Watch the, see this drum spins this direction. Watch this.
Wait, do that again. So
normal,
and you hold it reverse holds. Oh, very, very interesting. Hopefully you guys are learning a little bit about Powerglide, because I was a 400 guy, but I'm learning more and more as I'm around them, and I tend to like the Powerglide. It's very simple. I mean, having that extra gear has got to just make everything a mess.
It does.
I mean, much more complicated. You'll see guys at racetracks rebuilding Powerglides right on the bench. You don't often see guys rebuilding 400s. And when you get to the point, like we talked about in a previous video, where they're making so much power, you know, sometimes that first gear is the devil, having 248 first gear. I know everyone's like, why would you go with the Powerglide? Why wouldn't you just launch in second? Or why wouldn't you just get a longer first gear? Well, the plan was not to buy another gear set for this. I bought a transmission with a gear set. Luckily, the guy that I bought it from was, I'd say, somewhat of a decent guy, and got back with me on it and tried to set up and make it right. So I did get some assistance there, but we're gonna have all the right parts in it now. And you know, launching second, that's not really something I was looking to do, because that's a a 148? Yeah. So it's a 148 first gear. If you were launching second in a standard setup TH400, which that's too much. I think 180 will be the happy medium. Now, the only thing that I do have to worry about a little bit, is we're just gonna have to test and see, is the Cow has a 350 rear gear, where the vehicle like the Boosted Rooster has a 370 rear gear. So that's where we're going to be a little bit different. We're going to fight and see if that's too much gear, or if we're going to have enough power to get it out of the hole and moving. I feel pretty good about it. Ben, how do you feel about it?
I feel pretty good.
I feel pretty good. I know it's a heavy car, but we've been its entire life, we've been pulling power out of the hole, always trying to tone it back, and now we're going to be able to get it toned up. We're in there like swimwear. So now when you adjust the band, oh, look at that, it gets tighter. All right, everything is in there. The servo's in there. What is this? The little, like, I call it an adjustment piece.
It's it's called a band strut.
A band strut. The band is in there with the band adjustment, and it's got everything tight. The last thing to go on is this nice little piece I stole off my other transmission, which is, what is this? Just like some billet
servo cover.
Some billet servo cover from ATI. This is pretty nice. So we'll throw that on there and be good to go. Alright, so after that piece gets put in there, that is pretty much it, minus mounting up the valve body and the pan and the pump. But those are pretty straightforward. You're just putting bolts in there. Is that not correct? Just bolt it on. That is, I guess, what you could say, the bolt-on part of this. All of the assembly that is tedious, Ben has done. I'd say a lot of it is stacking steels and clutches and getting snap rings on and making sure everything is properly seated. Ben is pretty good where he double, triple, quadruple checks everything to make sure it goes on there nice and smooth like it should. This is just a quick little behind the scenes. I normally don't film this stuff because some of you guys might think it's boring. So if you do think this video is boring, I do apologize. I'm not out here trying to make boring videos. I just like to keep everyone informed on what really goes on. You guys don't see a lot of behind the scenes. Ben puts in a lot of great work, and he's been doing a really good job. The other transmissions that he's built have been holding up great. The one in the Boosted Rooster shifts awesome, and we've always been fighting issues with my 400 that it just wouldn't shift right, and then Ben rebuilt it, and finally it started shifting right, started shifting perfect, and then I got rid of it. So just when we got the transmission perfect, I was so happy with it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to a Powerglide. So now Ben's going through this one, so it should be good to go. We're gonna get it here in the Cowmaro very soon, probably tomorrow, and then we'll be ready to hit the road. Everything on the Cow is 100%. It's got new axles in there. Pretty much everything from head to toe, front to back is good to go. I'm gonna put the Glide in there, back to testing, getting some data, hopefully going really fast with that car. We're gonna get the Boosted Rooster all toned up. We ran it down in Florida, just kind of on wastegate, just shaking it down. I think we rushed it a little bit. I got a little too happy when we were at the track and we turned up the first time, her head gasket. So we're gonna take it slow, really take our time. There's no point in rushing, because what I've learned is you're just gonna have to go back and fix whatever you break when you rush it. So take our time, get it done right. We're going to be getting quicker. RPM Motorsports is getting Chris some axles, so he'll have some axles for his car, and then we should be good to go. I know you guys have been seeing a lot of carnage and braking stuff, but hopefully that's about to end. I do owe Brad a stock axle, but Brad is forever going to live on stock axles. So I do want to thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys in tomorrow's upload.